Okay, good.
Yes. Hello. And here we are in the after show afterthoughts. We've done now Lynnie, Godfrey, straight, no chaser. And this is my wonderful Anna Maria Horsford. Thank you so much, so very much for coming on the show and for doing this. Thank you. It's just been, it's like old times.
I know.
I
And you
know.
know what? Many times we have conversations, and when you hang up, you said, "Oh my God, I learned so much
Yeah.
about yourself." Sometimes you
Yes.
spark a memory and you wish it were recorded. But
Yeah,
thank God we have the technology that we can
exactly.
do
We
it.
can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they understand the relationship we have, because in this business, sometimes it's hard. It's more difficult than we think. And I think we talked about this one
Yeah.
time,
Yeah. Yeah.
that the intimacy of a friendship is difficult, because we come and we go, we're in a show, you work with somebody 15, 16 hours a day, and then you
Mhm.
don't see them for
Exactly.
5 years or 10 years.
Exactly.
But what you reach in it is so important. Things that happen to you, and you can't trace them, and so they don't know who's friends, because every time you say, well, I work with them, but you don't really know,
No,
the
you don't.
kindness in between, the first impressions or the last impressions,
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
stuff, and you just take a general feel of it. This gives you a documentation of your kindness toward me as well as mine toward you,
Well, thank you.
and I
Yeah.
think that's important. So I'm glad we have the video too.
Yes, I mean, it's one thing that I talk about it in my book. I talk about it when I talk about being out in Los Angeles and in those years and what that meant to me. And people say to me, you're going to go back. I said, I love LA,
Yeah,
and if work calls me, yes,
yeah,
go back.
exactly. Yeah,
But me, I don't sit still. So,
right. No,
a lot of time people call for something and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I could do it because I'm doing this over here.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
but I will never ever forget the kindness, because as I will say, and I'll say it without being specific to anybody else,
yeah,
it was not always offered.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Well, you have to remember too, when I got to California, and it was so interesting because a reporter said the same thing. He said, God, you all look like you're so happy to be here and be working with each other. And I said,
Mhm,
a lot of people like you who I'd seen on Broadway.
mhm.
And I was so impressed with you and what you do, that I just thought, oh, wow, I got a chance to work with so and so. And you remember either the one moment, the leg going up on
Yep.
the piano or something. And so you're meeting people. We're all fans, we're all
Of each
fans.
other.
And I
Yes,
think
of each other. Yeah.
when people meet you, it's like they want to make sure, and this is funny, they want to make sure that you're as nice as they thought you
Thought
were.
you were. And it's true. And there is a point where I am very, very cognizant of that.
Yeah.
No matter, like what you say, when people start talking to you and you keep moving, I just because if you stop, it becomes a whole nother thing.
Right.
But you want to respond and be pleasant all the
Yeah.
time, because
Yeah.
these people have graciously given you your career.
Yes, they
You
have.
know?
They are giving you their energy. So when just sometimes a smile back or a hello, it's
Exactly.
like, oh, and people say, well, you different than all them other celebrities. I said, how many other celebrities you met? Well, nobody. I said, then be quiet. Be quiet. They all like me. Shut up.
Yes.
And the
Yes.
deal is, they are, because what you said, and I think you understand that from stage,
Yes.
you are giving me energy that makes me woo like this. That's all it is. That's
Absolutely.
all you have.
Absolutely. That's all the time, all
That's
the
all of
time.
it. All of it.
And when you get that, you really want to. I was so blessed to be called back again and again. And
Yeah.
every single time was more and more fun, more
Yeah.
and more. And
Yeah.
it was a really lovely family to be a part of,
Yeah.
to be, to come in and have everybody be very comfortable with you, go and do your
Yeah.
work, and then going back about your business. And
Right.
the relationship
Yes.
went beyond, we played best friends and then we became
Yeah.
friends. And
Yeah.
then, people would see us walking on the street and they go, well, is,
Yeah.
yeah,
You really? Yeah.
is that you really are?
Yes. No, it is.
You know,
Clifton and I were in Philadelphia. We did a personal appearance. It was on
mhm,
Valentine's Day.
mhm.
And we were going up to our respective hotel rooms, and we got in the elevator with this couple. And we said, good evening. And the guy and the girl turned around. They said, you two are still together. And we said, yes. And we laughed. They got off the, that's good, man. That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, we could not break up
No,
their fantasy of what it was.
no, you really
And
can't.
I just
Nope.
said, this is a powerful medium that we're playing. And most of us
Very.
wanted to do it since we were little children.
Mhm.
And the idea that God has granted us the opportunity to still play
Yes.
with this thing called show business or whatever,
Mhm.
it is unbelievable that I can say at this point, I said, now God, I would have taken care of myself or not eat as many cookies if I knew you would keep giving me these jobs. Okay? Stop giving me these jobs till I get skinny. He said, no, no, no. You
No.
ate the cookie, you gotta show it.
Go. You got
Okay?
to
You
go.
gotta show it. So, but it's like we got a chance to do something that a lot of people say they might have wanted to, but we are still playing at it. And also, I think it's clear, both of us over the last 20, 30 years,
Mhm.
we also know, and this is us personally, that we have to pass a lot of this energy on to the kids who we run into.
Yeah,
When you were
exactly.
doing your chorus and you tell me the stories and I'm thrilled,
Yeah.
and the little kid, and sometimes we can't follow them, but we might run into one 20
Later
years from
on.
now
Later
that
on.
says,
Yes.
I
Yes.
remember when I was in your play and you wanted the wings or the this or the
Yeah.
that. I want to be part of everything. I
Mm.
want to be part of every child making that one memory. You
That's
know
it.
what I mean? Because
That's
it
it.
can last a lifetime. If they
It
never do it
does.
again, they can say, Miss Godfrey, Miss Lynnie told me I could sing.
Yep.
And I
Yep.
sang. And
And
those
that's it.
people sitting in the audience clapping, that's what I'm saying. It brings a confidence of, whoa,
It
whoa, I
does.
did
And
something.
that confidence is translated
Right,
into all kinds of careers. They
right,
then can
exactly,
walk through the door and feel really good about themselves because they
exactly.
really feel that they can do this
Yeah,
particular job. And that was started a long time ago. And
yeah,
and all of us have people who walk up to us and say, I remember when you were talking about so and so and so, and I was in school and I looked, oh
right.
Lord,
I
okay.
thought, oh, yeah.
You
And they
know,
look older than you now.
yes.
Oh, baby,
Oh,
I'm so happy.
I'm
I'm
happy.
so
Yes,
happy.
I'm glad for you.
Oh,
All right.
baby,
It
don't
helped
play
you.
no
Oh,
extra
good.
in New York. Because I said when I worked in New York, I saw more people from my past. You were my teacher. You were my acting teacher when I did something once. I said I was. Yeah. And so I said, ooh, okay, okay. You lived a life now. Pay for it.
And,
But I'm just grateful, really grateful that every single day you're making a memory for somebody,
it's
and most of the time it's for us,
most of the time,
Yeah,
but it's important. We talked about doing these kinds of things, and
yeah,
our stories are lost sometimes
yeah,
because we really have not chronicalized our own stories.
right,
And it's
right,
not anybody's responsibility
right,
but
but
ours
us.
to do it.
Yeah,
And when people are so kind to come in and share some of the things that they
yeah,
have, and most of the time, I'm going to have to do part 2 next season with
yes,
all
okay,
of you all because, there's so much more for us to get down so that people
yeah,
can understand what their legacy is,
yeah,
that they didn't invent the wheel, that the wheel was
yeah,
created before they got there, and they
exactly.
should know who the
And
inventors
I just jumped on. I jumped on for little time and
Exactly.
happy. I got a chance to spend some time with George Faison,
Yes.
and who is wonderful. I'm talking
Yes.
about stories.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
going
Yes.
back to the first time I saw his work, and I said, oh my gosh. And I remember down here at the taper, I went to see his Sweet Otis. This
Yes.
was years after, about
Mhm.
20, 30 years after. And
Yeah.
I sat in the audience and I cried because
Mhm.
I said, I know the guy who created
Created
this. And
this.
I remember seeing it the first time he put it on at the Y.
Mhm.
you know?
Mm. Mm.
And I just said, look at this. And the people in the audience, but I felt special because I knew the guy that created this.
Exactly. When you get invited to go to places, and I get invited, and then they talk about productions that they've done, and I'm like, oh well, no, I know the original cast
Yes,
people.
I know.
And I thought to myself, oh, has it been that long that they're doing
Yeah,
our plays,
yeah,
and and they give you the
yeah,
book, and you give you the script, and there's your name in the script, and
yeah,
you go, oh my Lord.
yeah.
When you're doing it, you're just doing it.
You're doing,
Uh,
that's all for that
you're just
moment,
doing it.
because the
And
only thing we have is the present. And I
exactly.
keep saying,
In the
Father,
moment.
Father, 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 you still give me
Exactly.
more memories now. I'm not going to remember all this now.
I
He
hear
said,
you.
yes, you will. Just remember the feeling that you
That's
get from it.
that,
Just
and
the
it is,
feeling.
it is the feeling that people, that how they make you feel.
Yeah,
You may not remember what they said, what
right.
they did, but you will remember how they made you feel.
Yeah,
And that's a wonderful, if it is a wonderful feeling. Some of it is not so wonderful, but that's important that you remember that also, because
yeah,
it's a
exactly.
cautionary
Exactly.
tale,
Yeah,
and then you're careful how you approach them, and how or that whole thing is,
yeah,
but the blessing of a life to,
yeah.
and I always remember, of course, I remember the red Corvette and the Harlem Cuties. I just,
Oh, yeah. Yes. Okay. It's okay. We did it. We did it. I go through it. I think of Elena and all
oh,
the people. I'm trying to
yes,
archive some of these pictures. I'm digitalizing all of it.
yes,
And
yes.
I said, we had some good
Oh,
times.
absolutely.
We
I mean,
had
some
some
some good times.
wonderful,
We show up in people's house, and here you come with a dish, or here you
yeah,
come with something, and and it was just
yeah,
coming in,
yeah,
just being in the moment,
yeah.
and
And we were all people who believed in an idea.
yeah,
And I keep saying we're still believing in it. We're
I
still making
agree.
it work. I
I
mean,
agree.
when
Yes.
I talk to Sam, and we don't talk about it as much, but I remember he always says, you gave me my first job in New York. And I said, oh, I did. And he said, yeah. And I never told him. I said, because I was trying to be an actress and being the casting director. And he came in
Mhm.
the office. He said, somebody told me you the casting director. I said, yes, because I had an appointment. I had to get to the airport because I had a voiceover, but I had to shoot it somewhere else. And
Uh-huh.
I
Uh-huh.
said, yes. And he says, so you have anything for me? And I said, are you good? And he said, what? I said, are you a good actor? And he said, yeah. I said, well, then you got the part. Here's the script. So in his head, God, dog, she believed me. Yes, I did.
Yes.
And he loves me till today. Because he said, you gave me my first job. I didn't even have to audition. I said, no, you didn't. I just asked your opinion. Okay. Next. Next.
I,
Okay.
you
So
know,
that's, life is good.
always wonderful.
Yeah.
Life has been wonderful. And
Yeah.
friendships and relationships that last
Oh,
over time, it's rare, I
yes,
mean,
it
'cause
is.
you
It's
do,
hard.
you have to work at it,
And we're in a
you
business that takes you away
away
from
from, exactly,
what builds friendship sometimes, which is
exactly,
consistency. We
you know,
can't promise to be consistent because we don't know. People say, where you going to be next month? I
exactly.
don't know. I
No,
don't
you
know.
don't know,
So for us to last this long,
it's
it's amazing. And some years are better than others. I
Mhm.
didn't even know you knew Sylvia. Remember? And
Yes,
I'm
I
saying,
remember.
oh, shucks, that's my TV buddy. We go to
Yes,
the movies. That's my movie buddy. I
yes,
had no
yes.
idea. And I
And
said, oh,
oh
okay. So
yes,
we got
that
good
whole
taste.
relationship. Yep,
Yeah,
you
we have
all
good
used to go to
taste.
the DGA
The
together.
DGA, yeah.
Yes,
And then we spent a Christmas together. One day we had
yeah,
a holiday when you and Carl went down. And I'm
yes,
just
yes.
saying, wow, this is it. I didn't know that she lived in the ghetto. Somebody said, you
Remember, we
going
went
over
on
there?
down to her house. We were all the
I
way
didn't
down to.
know, right? And I called, and they said, I said, Sylvia, somebody said I can't go to the ghetto. Now, I told them where you live. They said, she said, Anna, that's what they call it. I said, not the jungle. She said, yeah. I said, what jungle? Y'all got too many palm trees here. Stop. Y'all got to rename your ghettos, okay?
Ooh,
Because
child, I
they look so
know.
much better than ours. But
Yes,
right,
yes.
friendship is important. to have at least one eyewitness to your growth in
Yeah.
this business is a blessing.
It's-
And you hope, when you hear people are going, because we're at a stage where we're losing a lot of people. But
Yes.
what you remember is not the loss, but you remember the time that we spent,
Exactly.
the lines that you had to learn, the funny parts when you
Yes.
forgot them, and the this and that.
Yes,
It's
yes,
just,
the outtakes,
right.
the lunches, the
Yeah.
lack of lunches, all the stuff that happens, it's great memories. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's still some people, I miss them, sometimes you do a show and the person, you haven't seen them in about 20, 30 years, and
Yeah.
they just left, 2 days before, as
Oh,
you come into the gig and you went,
yeah.
oh gosh,
Yeah.
it would be great to have a reunion of folks of some kind, but
Yes.
we'll see, what time.
But you have filled in the blanks the other day when we were talking about one of the actresses, and you said, "Oh yeah, now I worked with her." So I said, "Oh, okay." So it's nice getting the full story, because I said, "Oh, I thought it was me." So girlfriend was crazy. Oh, okay. Because you carry this other thing around. I don't know what I did. Well, maybe nothing.
No,
Maybe,
and a lot of times there, I mean, I will say it, there are a lot of times when I go, was it me? Is it?
yeah.
I mean, but then you talk to someone else and you go, oh, okay, so, all right, we're on
Yes.
camera now,
Okay.
so don't
Yes.
start.
Yes.
Anna, don't start. I tell you, well, what I look forward to is when you get a break, and you, one of us is on the same coast, is us sitting down and really enjoying a good meal.
Yes.
Because that will be a great day. This is really good. This is one step closer, because at least now we're seeing each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Because most of the time it's on the telephone.
Yeah, but thank you, technology. Really, I'm happy we can do this, and I think we should continue to do it, because both of us had some long careers, honey. So we might need a part 2.
I know.
Part 3. You know what I mean?
Yes, we will do. But I have to wait until in between the movies.
Okay. Yes, please. But make sure you catch me on the Last OG and Pose and Hacks. Hacks was nice. Yeah, was a nicer. I worked with Jean Smart, who I'd never worked with before, and it took us about 3 minutes to get familiar.
Okay.
And she said, "Oh, I'm so glad you said yes." I said, "I'm so glad you asked."
I know that's right.
This is a business. You don't know who's watching.
No,
you really don't know who's watching. And people come up to you and so grateful that you would share this time.
Yes.
And then you see it, and because it wasn't even on TV. And I said, "Oh, shucks, this is nice." And I said, "You are part of this." And then you start hearing from other people that you worked with years ago that just saw you on something. So at least they know you're still alive.
Exactly. That's the important part. Yes.
She's still living. She's still living. Okay. And just happy. Listen, I don't have nothing to complain about right now.
I say it all the time. I get on my knees and I thank God every day for the life that God has given me, for
and the voice.
And the voice.
And the voice, baby. You're still hitting the notes, okay? Every time I see those pictures and I say, girlfriend is still hitting the, but that's the other part of taking good care of yourself.
Well, I think we have that in common. You talked about at one point in time, people were in shock that you didn't drink or smoke. That's what we had in common. We would go and sit down and have some sparkling cider together. Folks would think it would be champagne, but we'd be drinking sparkling cider, and it does make a difference.
Well, this little social media girl said to me yesterday, she said, well, you took good care of yourself. You never drank that much. I said, never drank that much. I said, I ain't drink at all. She said, never. I said, never.
Never.
I said, never. I said, listen, I know more alcoholics than anybody. And not to put a judgment on it. No. I'm just saying, not just the drinking and the smoking, but the sleep.
Yes.
The party, the this, the that, the other. A friend of mine invited me to an orgy. This was when I was like 19, 20 years old. I said, no, girl, I can't come. And she said, well, I said, well, just in case I become a star, I don't want anybody to blackmail me because then I'd have to pay somebody to kill them and this and that. And she said, oh, okay. And that was the end. I never got another invitation,
No,
you know,
no, I
but
understand.
it's my success is based on
I
just in
understand
case.
case. I
So
understand.
whether it happened or not, be mindful where
And
you
and and and
want to
I
go.
say that to the younger people too,
Yeah,
just be mindful.
yeah,
Think about what you're saying. And as a younger person, I said I was stupid. At times I was stupid and arrogant. And I would just say things off the cuff, and I try to be a little bit more careful now,
yeah.
and
But I
humility.
don't see you as one that deliberately went to hurt anybody either.
No, no, that I didn't do.
So
No,
that,
that I
yeah,
didn't
that's
do.
a
No,
big difference
but I just
between
off the cuff
thinking,
thinking, oh, well, it will always be here and it'll always be.
well,
And
yeah, well, we all that's what we call human is. So
yeah,
that's
well,
fine.
and youthfulness and all of that stuff.
Yeah, right.
But right at
Yeah,
this point in time, I really thank God for longevity,
yes,
and life and great parents, like we said, who
yeah, yeah.
liked us.
Right. Yes, very much. And my dear, thank them for the genes they gave you because you don't look a day different than you look 25 years or so.
And
That's
you should talk. Oh, no, 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 Miss Lynnie, no,
maybe,
no.
yeah, you might feel it in the knee, but I'm
Yes.
saying thank you, Gene Pool.
Yes.
Thank you,
Thank
Gene
you. Thank
Pool.
you.
Yeah,
People say, what do you do? I said, oh, I had nothing to do with this. This is
yeah,
God and the
yeah,
genes from the
yeah.
grandmother. My grandmother, who when she passed away was 94, had nothing on her face. Nothing. No lines, no
Whoa.
nothing. Her mother was 105, 112. Nothing. I saw pictures of her, nothing on the face, nothing on the face. Her cousin
Wow.
was 105, cousin
Oh
Maddie,
my gosh.
nothing on the face, nothing on
This is on your mother's side or your
my
daddy's side?
father's side.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow. Wow.
My
Wow.
mother, nothing on the face, nothing on the face. So, I mean, I just play, I look at my mother's picture every day and I say, with not a lick of makeup on, I will never
Yeah.
look that good.
Yeah.
I have to beat the face in order to look halfway good. She was just adorably beautiful.
Well, not only that, your metabolism, because you told me something years ago that I have told many people. I
Oh,
didn't say where it came from, but I said a friend of mine said sometimes when they don't know why people are strange toward them, I said, a friend told me years ago, you're too thin. And he said, what? I said, girlfriend told me people get mad at you now if you stay thin.
yeah.
And I said, huh?
Mm,
And they
mm,
look at me like I'm crazy. I said, no, look around.
mm.
And just little things that you just get that you say, huh? And it takes all the stress away
It does.
because they're looking
Then you
inside
realize,
something
but
else
you
and you
do.
realize,
Yeah, you just
oh,
realize it. You
yeah,
realize
I
it.
ain't got nothing to do with that. Yeah.
No, I mean,
Okay.
and that's heredity on my dad's side.
Yeah, no, but I'm
Yeah,
saying we
that's
don't even know when you walk in a room and somebody, you say, oh,
oh, I have walked in the room, and when I'm walking in the room, I see people there like this,
yes,
and they look at me and go,
yeah,
I have
baby,
seen it happen. And I
don't fit
literally
into
was
the
with a
size
friend of mine, and
sixes.
I just started laughing. I said,
Yeah,
well, look at it. Look,
yeah,
it's
that's
got a
all, yeah, no, no,
oh,
and there are people who want to steal the joy. Sometimes you can
yes,
look too happy,
yeah.
and what you do is say, oh, I know who you are. It's okay, it's okay,
Mm,
it's okay, and
yeah,
you just kind of just move to the side
yeah.
because basically we follow people we like and
Mhm.
people that we somehow want to be like.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And so remember that. So the person will follow you, not necessarily because they like you, but they want to be like you. So they're taking notes in
Mm.
the back and say, oh, okay, now how's she so happy? So happy. And so they think I'm rich. I said, girl, I got a lot of money. And they said, yeah, I know you one of them West Indian people. You got your first dollar. I said, I do. They said, mm-hmm.
Mhm.
They know I ain't working 2 years. Shut up. I ain't got nothing. I got a bill.
Hey,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. But
yeah, yeah,
your image of me is somebody I would love to be.
yeah.
Wealthy. Okay. Wealthy. I don't have to pay bills. I'm rich. Okay. So you say, okay, whatever fantasy you have about me, keep it. keep
I
it.
understand.
You
I
don't need the
understand.
real part.
I
Okay.
hear you.
So
I
good.
hear you. I hear you.
Yes.
Well, now I'm going to end this recording, not us, but this recording, and because I just think that I want to just capsulize all of this, and so glad that we did it. Where we are in this life, and we can look back on reruns and see where we were in the other life.
Yes.
And I just thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, my love.
Thank you, darling.
Thank you.
Now tell me how to end this. I just
Well,
go.
no, you do anything. Just
Okay. All right.
I'm going to say good, just bye, and you say
Okay.
bye, but don't go anywhere.
Okay, darling.
All right. So thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.